video is the seated finesse wedge release. So I have a video where we go through the seated release, where basically we're looking at the release compared to the chest. And we're going to do a similar idea here for the finesse wedge shot, because I find that a lot of golfers struggle with kind of throwing the club past their body, and if they understood where we're trying to get to, then perhaps they wouldn't do that. So with the seated wedge release, what I want you to do is you're going to take your hands and place them out in front of you, just like this. And then what I want you to do is, in your mind, I want you to make a golf swing without letting your chest or your body turn. So you're going to make a golf swing and just show what your arms do. And I'm not going to do it yet. Give you a few seconds. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through where I want your arms to go during the finesse wedge release. So here we are at the start of the swing. So we're kind of right around here, maybe a little bit more ulnar deviation. And then as I go back, the club is basically going to stay a little bit in front of me. It might come back a little bit, but I'm going to exaggerate it for the purpose of this video. I'm going to point the club slightly ahead of my body. So I'm going to point the club slightly over here. And now during the downswing, I'm going to let this arm supinate, let this arm rotate a little bit, let this ulnar deviate, and so it's going to point basically even with my knee down around there. So I'm going to go this way. Now some of you are probably scratching your head, and I will say that this works really well for some very feel dominant golfers, but it might not resonate with you. We've got other videos that kind of work more on rhythm and things like that. So the reason I say that is, as you notice, basically during the downswing, my arms are actually taking the club away from the target, if you just broke down what the arms are doing. So if I now combo that, if I was basically here at the top of the swing, I'm going to go to there during the downswing. Just down, kind of like this. So now, if I broke that down at the same time, so here we go to the top of the swing, you can see that the club is pretty much still out in front of my chest, so that would look kind of like this. So I'm exaggerating it for the purpose of this drill, but it would look something like this. And then as I start down, I do that ulnar deviation, and the club will drop a little bit, kind of like this. That drop movement is going to happen from a little bit of this rotation and a little bit of ulnar deviation. So if I do that, it would look like this if my body didn't move the club at the same time. But now that my body moves the club at the same time, it just looks like it shallows on plane, kind of like this. So that throwing motion that a lot of golfers describe and that I talk about is actually kind of going more down this way. It's more of an unhinge than a throwing past your body. So I've heard other instructors talk about it being more of a vertical drop or releasing the club back that way. Those are all different ideas for this concept of the seated release. So once you have that kind of feel, or sorry, once you have that idea, then you can try and isolate taking some short little shots where it feels like it's going from about chest height to down behind you at your knees. That will require that your body brings you through, and when it brings you through, you'll notice that the club stays just a little bit outside, just behind my chest, kind of like this. Where a lot of golfers struggle is they get the club flipping past. That would basically be if I was doing a seated release and I was going up and across kind of like this, applying all the force from the shoulder. So this will really help quiet the look of your arms on the way on the downswing. If you tend to have a look of really handsy, scoopy arm action, this visual, when you figure it out, can sometimes really help quiet and sync up the arm shallowing of the finesse wedge with the body pivot to create this really good feeling of coasting on the way through and getting really good bounce contact. If you like this video, then click the link in the description below and head over to golfsmartacademy.com for a free trial membership. It's free, you don't even have to put in your credit card. We have over 900 videos to help you diagnose and then train to improve your golf swing. Golf Smart Academy is the ultimate resource for do-it-yourself golfers.